Avatamsaka Sutra, unveiling the form aggregate. The form aggregate, this body is not the self. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. My dear children, today I will tell you a very special story. A story that is not far away, but right here in each breath, each step, each glance of ours. It is the story of the form aggregate, this body that everyone mistakes as myself. The Buddha taught that this human being, this body and mind, is composed of the 5 aggregates: form, feeling, perception, volition, and consciousness. Among them, the form aggregate is the most visible, the easiest to grasp, yet also the one we most strongly cling to. From the moment we open our eyes at birth, we see this body as me, my body, my eyes, my hands, my heart. But in truth, all of this is only a temporary combination. Think about it. Is this body really me? When hungry, we eat, and rice turns into flesh. When thirsty, we drink, and water becomes blood. When hot, sweat pours out. When cold, the body shivers. Cells are born and die without ceasing. Without earth, no flesh and bones. Without water, no blood. Without wind, no breath. Without fire, no warmth to sustain life. This body we cling to as self is but a borrowing from the 4 great elements: earth, water, wind, and fire. In the middle-length discourses, Majjhima Nikaya, the Buddha declared, "This body is not me, not mine, not myself." This is a profound teaching. For as long as we cling to this body as me and mine, all suffering follows. Sickness, aging, death, all bring fear and sorrow. But when we recognize this body as only the form aggregate, a mere temporary union, we can begin to release attachment. I once saw a little child playing in the temple yard, stacking pebbles into a small tower. He was focused and careful, but just a gust of wind or a light touch toppled the tower instantly. The body is the same. Built of countless conditions, it seems solid, yet just a single missing factor, a stopped breath, halted circulation, or a failing heart, and it collapses, returning to the 4 elements. If we do not contemplate deeply, we will be deceived by this body, spending our lives protecting and adorning it, never realizing its impermanence. That is why the Buddha called it the root of suffering. Children, the first step in contemplating the 5 aggregates is to look directly at the truth of the form aggregate. This body is composite, impermanent, not the self. Seeing this clearly allows us to gradually move beyond fear and suffering, touching true peace. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. The story of Anne and Elder Lamb. Long ago, in a small village, there lived a young man named Anne. Strong and healthy, he ran through the fields each morning, carrying water, plowing the land, working tirelessly without fatigue. He often boasted, "My body is strong, nothing can bring me down." In that same village lived an old man named Lamb, over 80 years old, bent and frail, walking with a cane. Each time Anne saw him running, Elder Lamb simply smiled kindly. One day Anne asked, "Grandfather, why is your body so weak? Look at me, I can do anything. This body is me, and I control it." Elder Lamb replied softly, "Child, I too once had a strong body like yours. In youth, I thought this body was mine to command, but over time, black hair turned white, strong teeth fell, smooth skin wrinkled, and bright eyes dimmed. Don't you see, this body obeys impermanence, not our will." Anne remained silent, not fully grasping the meaning. Later, Anne fell gravely ill, feverish, weak, unable to eat, bedridden for days. He remembered Elder Lamb's words, "This body does not obey us." Indeed, though he wanted to rise and work, his body refused. It ached, collapsed, and betrayed his will. When he recovered, Anne went to Elder Lamb and said respectfully, "Grandfather, now I understand. This body is not truly me. When it was sick, I could do nothing. When it ages, I cannot stop it. I am only borrowing it." The elder nodded. "That's right, child. This body is like a garment. When new, it is fine and strong. With time it wears out and must be discarded. Cling to it and you suffer. See it as borrowed and you are free. This body is just the form aggregate, the four elements in temporary harmony. It is not the self." Hearing this, Anne felt light and free. From then on, he no longer boasted of his strength, nor feared sickness, aging, or death. He knew this body was only a vehicle, useful while present, but not his true self. Children, Anne's story is our story. In youth, we think we control the body. In age, it changes. In sickness, it resists us. In death, it dissolves into the elements. There is no self within it. Seeing this truth removes the greatest fear, fear of losing the body. Without that fear, death loses its terror. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Contemplation on the body. The body has 6 sense bases: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Each contacts 6 sense objects: form, sound, smell, taste, touch, and thought. When base meets object, consciousness arises. What we call seeing or hearing is only this process, no self behind it. Seeing a flower, the eye base meets color and shape, object, producing eye consciousness. We say, "I see the flower," but it is merely the meeting of conditions. Hearing a bell, sound vibrations strike the ear, producing ear consciousness. We say, "I hear," but again, no self is involved. Thus, this body is only the form aggregate, sustained by the interplay of base object consciousness. When they cease, all perception ceases. The body is not independent, but a temporary process of conditions. The Buddha in the Suraganga Sutra said, "Sentient beings mistake the sense bases and objects for the mind. Mistaking thus, we cling. This body is me. This seeing is me. This hearing is me." And so we are bound in samsara. But when we see these as mere processes of dependent origination, we stop clinging. Children, this body is ever changing. Each breath sustains it. Each meal nourishes it. Each movement exhausts it. Every second brings countless changes. Nothing here is fixed. Clinging to the body brings suffering with aging, sickness, and death. But recognizing it as the form aggregate, impermanent, and non-self, we can live lightly. When pain arises, this is just form changing. When tired, this is imbalance of elements. When dying, this is the four elements dissolving. The self is never lost because the body was never the self.
The Buddha's teachings. In the Diamond Sutra, the Buddha taught, all things with form are illusions. If you see that all forms are not the true form, you see the Tathagata. In the middle-length discourses, he repeated, this body is not me, not mine, not myself. If we reflect daily, this becomes the key to peace. Without attachment to body, suffering falls away. Practice of contemplation. Mindfulness of breathing. See the body depends on air. Without breath, it collapses. Contemplation of the four elements: earth, bones, flesh; water, blood, sweat; wind, breath; fire, heat. All return to the cosmos. Contemplation of impurity: hair, nails, teeth, blood, bile, urine, excrement. Seeing the body is not inherently beautiful. Contemplation of impermanence. Comparing the body now and years ago shows constant change. These practices reveal the body as only the form aggregate, not self. When healthy, know it is conditions arising. When ill, conditions dissolving. When dead, elements dispersing. No self is lost, for there never was one in the body. Application in practice. When meditating, reflect. This body is only breath in and out, only the play of the four elements. When walking, steps are happening, but no self walks. When eating, food nourishes, but no self eats. When resting, the body lies down, but no self controls it. This lightens the heart. For those practicing Buddha recitation, when the mouth chants Namo Amitabha Buddha, remember the mouth, tongue, sound are only the form aggregate. They are not me. If you cling, I am chanting, self still remains. If you see it as just form in operation, self dissolves. Then only the bright awareness remains in the name. This is the true state of one-pointed mind, unshaken. Conclusion. Children, one day this body will end, but when we see it was never self, fear vanishes. The body is but borrowed, returned to the four elements. The true knowing, the luminous mind, remains unborn, undying. That is our true refuge. Thus, contemplating the form aggregate is not to reject the body, but to live rightly with it, to use it as a vehicle of practice without mistaking it for self. Free of attachment, we find peace. With peace, we taste nirvana here and now. Today, we have journeyed through the first of the five aggregates, form. Ahead lie feeling, perception, volition, and consciousness. Each can bind us or liberate us, depending on our vision. I hope, dear children, that from today you will no longer see this body with delusion, but as a companion, cared for just enough, but not mistaken as master. The true master is luminous awareness, liberating mind, the Buddha nature within each of us. Namo Mahavaipulya Buddha Avatamsaka Sutra. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha.